Fanbots, and welcome to 2015 and a brand new Trade Tuesday. So real quick, we have a couple of things that I want to say. We're going to be switching up the format of Trade Tuesday. So from here on out, you're going to see a different way in which we approach these videos. And what I'm going to tell you today is not just what trades I'm reading, but 5 reasons that you should definitely pick them up. With that in mind, I'm going to give you 5 reasons that you should definitely be picking up and reading, if you haven't already, the trades for Burn the Orphanage.
Burn the Orphanage.
Burn to the ground. It's a co-writing project between Sina Grace and Daniel Friedman, and it's illustrated by Sina Grace, or Sina Grace, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. So, yeah, I made so many jokes about these comics. Every day I went to go pull my other Image comics, and then finally I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy them. And I do not regret it at all. So, we'll start with number 1.
Number 1.
Reason number 1 is production and presentation. What that means is that when they made these issues, they weren't just like, oh, here's a bunch of ham, enjoy. They actually like sort of thought about how they wanted to represent the series, and they tried something new. It's not really like anything else that's being released right now. And if you pick them up and read them, you'll see that they're kind of, you know, walking the line between being too hokey and new and strange and actually giving you like a solid title, and I think it comes off pretty well. They include a lot of like 8-bit homage, and not only 8-bit homage, but like fighting game homage, which I am a huge fan of. Let me see if I can turn one up at some point. Again, it's not as much as I think it could be, because I definitely like the concept. It's sort of like a Scott Pilgrim concept, where it's a bit of a video game motif. Yeah, but for example, if you can see this, they just like randomly split into like Sega Genesis era game. I really wish they would have done it, like, maybe even in every issue, but the way they did it is enough for me to warrant it to be number 1, which is the lowest number on my list, because I like to go backwards. So that's a good reason alone. You can see the back of this one.
Number 2.
Number 2 out of 5 is the characters. So if you pick this up, chances are you will fall in love with some of the characters, if not all of them, because they're simultaneously ridiculous and endearing. The main character's name is Rock, and it totally fits, and it's kind of ridiculous, but awesome as well. And usually in like a series like this, you would kind of expect characters to be really like one-dimensional, and it's like you're following real people in terrible situations. Kat Dennings totally shows up in here, so you know, there's one person you can look forward to hanging out with. When I initially picked up the series, I was like, this is going to be a pile of hot garbage that I really enjoy way too much, and it actually turned out to be like a fairly well thought out character-based story. I was not expecting it, but I was surprised, and I did enjoy it.
Number 3.
Number 3 is the art. I'm not gonna lie, I buy most of my trades that I haven't been reading by judging their art. I pick up a trade, I open to like 4 random pages, and if the art looks viewable, I will pick up the first volume and read it. As I told you, I thought this series was a joke, and the art convinced me otherwise. It is phenomenal. It's beautiful, beautiful art. Super sharp, but not, you know, super realistic like an Alex Ross or someone, but realistic enough to give a nice little, you know, style to it. One thing that I can't mention enough about the art is the colors.
Number 4.
That leads me to number 4 on the list, which is going to be the coloring. Now, Trade 1 and Trade 2, they change colors in the series, and honestly, I kind of prefer the first colorist, who is John Rausch, to the second. I think the first trade has a much better palette, sort of a richness. The second one isn't bad, it's much brighter, it's much funner, but just when you're reading it visually, it just works so well with the colors they've done.
Number 5.
Finally, reason 5, and this is the most important reason to me for you to pick up this trade, is ham sandwich. What that means is that this trade is literally a sandwich of delicious ham. It's not like in your face, this is the hammiest thing I've ever had, but it's just so like enjoyably ham cliched. in like sort of a light-hearted poking fun of itself while it's doing it way. I mean, the main character's name is Rock, so obviously, you know, that kind of sets the tone. And then there's another character in here named Bear. If you like your classic cheesy action flick, I definitely recommend you pick these up. So, in conclusion, if you want a series that is, you know, not this super heavy, J.M. Straczynski, let's question life, ethics, and morality, and our meaning and purpose in this world, and you just kind of want a fun thing to flip through and, you know, entertain your brain for a couple hours, and you like characters that make you laugh and feel ridiculous about yourself and your choice in comics, definitely pick this series up. The series itself is pretty spectacularly ridiculous. When I picked it up, I basically felt like I was reading Scott Pilgrim if it had the storyline of Die Hard, and that in and of itself should be enough to convince you to pick these up. They're honestly, I think, one of my more favorite trades that I've picked up in a long time. Maybe even more than my Straczynski trades or my Constantine trades, which are my other favorite series.
Say what?
I know, right? You never thought you'd hear me say that. But it's fantastic. So, pick them up, read them, enjoy them. Definitely a great series to look out for at your local comic shop. So, with that being said, thank you for listening to me tell you why you should read one of the most fantastic, hammiest things you've ever read. Just a real quick thing I want to bring to your attention. Take a little hiatus for the holidays. The SMR crew has mother bots and father bots and sibling bots and friend bots and all sorts of bots.
Pet bots.
Pet bots that we had to, you know, spend time with. But most important of all those bots are our fan bots. So we're back to bring you a bunch of new stuff. So as time goes on, be sure to look out for new content. One thing you should be looking out for, we mentioned this a while in the system update, and then it got backburnered for various reasons, is Pine Tree Hill Radio. We're working hard to bring the first episode up to you as soon as possible. It's going to give you basically the story of how the protagonist, Charles, came to find himself in Pine Tree Hill. And it's going to introduce a couple of key places and characters and just sort of start building the foundation you need to enjoy the tale we're going to lay forth. First episode should be up no later than early February. And then it'll be a weekly release as time goes forward. Also, check out So Let Me Tell You a Story, where we share touching moments from our past, or comic book history, or our brains. So as always, thanks for tuning in. If you liked the video, go ahead and like it. Also, comment, let us know what you're thinking. Let us know if you've read these, and if you like them or you didn't like them, and let us know what you can pick up in addition to them. And subscribe to our channel, because like I said, we're going to be releasing a bunch of new content as the week goes on and the month goes on. And you want to be up to date on all of it. So, like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook. Do what you got to do to get your SMR fix. And have a great day, or evening, or morning, or whatever it is, wherever you are. As always, thanks for tuning in for this video. I am Nix from Summer Robots. And don't forget, remember who you are and what you are. Don't go causing any trouble out there in that crazy world. And always treat your burrito boy right. It's co-written by Sina Grace. It's co-written by Sina Grace.
Who's it co-written by?
Sina Grace. Sina Grace.